All right, so we've begun to knit these individual component visualizations together through parameter filters, and that's a good step in the right direction. But remember, the entire like a design metaphor, or the process, I should say, behind dashboards is iterate, iterate, iterate. So we can improve this. And in particular, one of the things I don't like is that we're not really using our most precious dashboard resource effectively or efficiently. And that's space. Like, we have a lot of wasted space. We have wasted space related to this parameter. And we have space that's wasted here too, because I don't know how much to dedicate to this horizontal bar chart. Like, if I go to home and comfort, for instance, the list changes. If I go to stationery, it changes again. If I go to toys, it changes again. So what I would like to do is standardize this to maybe to show only the top 5. But the problem is that's complicated, because top 5 changes as I change the parameter value. I don't mean top 5 total, right? I mean the top 5 with respect to only toys or only stationery or whatever it is. So we're going to have to go through here and do some more complicated logic to kind of knit these things together. So let's go back to the horizontal bar chart itself and think about what we want to do here. So I want to limit this. I only want to show some subset here with respect to the parameter. So I want to create a set of the customer state. So I'll start that, and I'm going to use top, and I'm going to say by formula, and we'll say top, I don't know, let's just do top 5, and we'll say top 5 states by sales, and we'll say. Okay, so what do we do then? So in words, what do I want to do? In words, I want to sum up the sales, but not all of the sales. I only want the sales if the product category is the display category. So I want to kind of sum with a conditional. And Tableau has a little trick for this. So we'll say sum, and then we'll put a conditional inside the sum. We'll say sum if product category name English is equal to display category. Then we want to return the price, and then end. So what is this saying? If the product category is equal to the display category, then you return the price value, and otherwise you return 0. So that's the implicit thing. And then you sum all these things up. So essentially what it's going to do is sum all of the prices of all of the orders that have the correct category. Nice. So this is our kind of nested conditional summation that's dependent on the parameters. See how all these things kind of start to work together? It's all about the parameters. The parameters are driving the filters. The parameters are driving the set creation, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So let's hit OK. And then to activate this thing, we want to drag it into filters. And so notice now that I have 5, and I'm going to exclude the null. It's not worth it. And notice that adds another filter. But I am always going to have 5 here. And this is really handy, because over here, whether I go to toys or home and comfort or housewares or office furniture, like, it doesn't matter. Whatever I want to do, it's always just the top 5. Always just the top 5. And notice that the way I have it right now, all of the dots are displayed or all of the states are displayed on the geoplot, and only 5 of them are displayed on the horizontal bar chart. So this is kind of a design decision. Now we can start to knit this together a little bit more forcefully, or maybe a little bit more pleasantly, in the way it looks, at least, by starting to figure out kind of what we would want to do here. So maybe I want to put this down here now and make this a float, so that it's not taking up the whole space. And then maybe kind of adjust this down and bring this up. You got to kind of play around with it a bit. But we certainly don't need nearly as much space now for the horizontal bar chart as we did before. And this seems like a pretty good use of space. Okay, so what do we want to do? Well, I might want to bring the title back here, and maybe we'll say something like say total sales. And then remember, we can actually go here and say insert display category. And then this will change as we change the value of the parameter itself. And we might also want to bring back the title here. and say, we'll edit the title and say, instead of sheet name, we'll say top 5 states in total sales. And then again, the parameter name. Yep, perfect. So, and again, you may not need both, you know, maybe you only do one or something like this, but the point is that you can kind of tie these things together in ways that make sense. So obviously there's more work, and now I don't like that either, so it's got to get enough room. There's a lot of like tweaking that you can do here to kind of pull these things even in tighter alignment. But the key behind this last few chunk of few videos here is that it really is about parameters. Like it's parameters are where all of this starts, because parameters are the values that are shared between sheets, and by sharing values between sheets, we can change behavior in multiple places by changing just one value, whether that's by filtering or changing set membership or changing titles or any of the other options that we're going to go over as time goes on. So coming up, we have to dive into another area of dashboards, namely actions, and how we can drive interactivity through things like highlighting, changing set membership, changing parameter values, and going to URLs. But all of that for a future series of videos.